welcome to JoJo's Homemaker and Lifestyle. Well, for those who have not joined me, my name's Joanne and I do vlogs on my B&B and just general day-to-day things that we get up to. Sometimes just myself and sometimes Ade, my fiance, is also in the vlogs also. So today I am going to show you something that I did say at the very beginning when I first started vlogging I was going to do quite a bit of, and I haven't. And I will tell you the reasons why that is. Now, I am in the process of making this. We go to the Lincoln Asylum once a year, and it's a steampunk event and it's extremely popular all over the world. People come from all over and get involved in the shenanigans at the asylum, and it's all on the steep. If you've never been to Lincoln, it's a beautiful place to visit. It's only about an hour away from us, and it's held at the top at the steep, which is next to the cathedral, in between the cathedral and the castle, and it's also in the castle grounds as well. Now, everybody goes all out and wears their best steampunk outfits possible, and it's not all steampunk, it's Victorian, it's all sorts. Now, this is a Victorian outfit and it's actually an original pattern. Now, I'm by no means am I a professional seamstress. I would say I'm a seamstress, but I would say I'm more of an amateur seamstress. Now, the very first thing I ever made was almost as challenging as that, and I will show you what I made the first time round. I did get an awful lot of help from a friend, and she actually, Sarah, taught me an awful lot, only over FaceTime, may I add, but she was brilliant. Now, I've made quite a few things from the first outfit that I made up to this one. Now, this is by far the most challenging because of all the ruffles and the frills at the back of the skirt. And the reason, and I have done the skirt, almost completed it, and the reason I've not vlogged it or any of the other things that I've made is because I find it not stressful. I actually really enjoy it and can find it quite therapeutic, but I really have to concentrate, and it takes me an awful long time. All I've done so far of this is the skirt, and that's not completely finished, and I've been doing it now probably for over 2 months. That's how long I've been doing it for. So it really does take me a while to do. I'll do a little bit, and if I get all stressed or I'm finding it a little bit too much, too challenging, then I'll stop and I'll have a break. Sometimes I'll have a break for a few hours, a few days, or a few weeks. And it certainly has been challenging, but I will show it you what I've done so far because I'm pretty impressed with it. And well, the fabric itself is really difficult to work with, and so now I was struggling because I made it 10 inches, believe it or not, too long. So I have had my friend round, Lucy and Stuart, and Lucy's really good at sewing and she makes a lot of her own things. So I asked if she would come round to give me a hand, which she did. And what I did was I cut about almost 10 inches from the top and put the waistband on the top. I will show you. So it's now the right length. So now I'm on the top, which again is going to be challenging in itself. And she's given me some pointers on that as well. So I think I know what I'm doing. The only thing I struggle with, or the biggest thing I struggle with, is attaching the arms to the body and the sleeves, you know. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I did think I really should be doing this with yourselves and showing you what I do. So I am going to vlog a little bit of it, a little bit of the top. How much of it, I don't know. But I will show you a few steps that I've done so far and a few steps throughout that I'm going to be doing. And hopefully you'll get the gist of what I'm doing and enjoy this vlog. So please stick with me. And if there's any questions you'd like to know, please put in the comments below. And if there's any advice that you can give, please put in the comments below. Now, as I say, I'm no professional seamstress, but I do enjoy it. But it just takes me a while to do. So please bear with me and enjoy, and I'll show you the finished result. And also I will put in some pictures of ones that I've already done and some things that I've already done. Some things are better than others, but I think all in all, I don't think it's bad considering I'm pretty new to all this. So anyway, I started sewing, I'll just let you know, I would say a year and a half ago, maybe. Before that, I could only sew on a button, and now I can thread a sewing machine. I've taught myself how to use the sewing machine. It took me a day to use this, to figure out how to use it, thread it, and etc. And now I can change a needle, I've changed the bulb, I can do everything on it. And I'm really, the only thing I don't know is how to use these different stitches. I'm not sure how to do that, and I probably don't use it to its full potential either, because I'm not really sure about that. But for what I need it for, it's absolutely fine, and I'm really pleased. And I've also got an overlocker, and I also taught myself how to use that from YouTube as well. YouTube really is amazing for learning how to do things. I'd highly recommend it if you want to know anything or how to do anything, and if I can do it, I'm quite sure you can do it. So give it a go. And I only bought the sewing machine for about £25 from Facebook Marketplace. So it wasn't a new one. It's like new. I think it was only used a couple of times. Somebody couldn't figure out and get the hang of it, so they sold it on and I bought it, and I really love it. So yeah, enjoy. And I hope you stick with me throughout this to see the finished result. So that's the front of the skirt when it's on, and that will be the back, and they are all frills now. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to put it on for you to see. So that's it on, look. And that's like the what they call the pinafore at the front, and then you've got your frill, and then you've got a little drop, another frill, and then some pleats. Now I've never done pleats in my life. It does need to be a little bit higher than that off the floor, but I'll have heels on as well. So that's the front of it. Now, as I say, first time I've ever tackled something like that, and I have to say, I think it's pretty good. And this comes round here like that. Again, it needs, there's some little things that need threads that need cutting off and things, but it's still in progress, work in progress if you like, at the moment. And it isn't perfect, I'm aware of that, but I think when it's all put together and it's on, I think it will look pretty professional, if I say so myself. So that's it so far. Yeah. So there you go, that's it, that's the skirt. And I do apologise for not going through it with you. I should have done really, but honestly, I just have to concentrate that hard. The last thing, although I could, well, anyway, I just have to really concentrate, and I do a bit today, I do a bit tomorrow, I do a bit next week, as I said earlier. So it's really difficult to vlog, but I am going to try and vlog the top, or at least some of it, and you can have a rough idea of how I do it and what I do. And when it's all together, I'm hoping it looks as good as the picture. But I think the skirt up to now doesn't look bad. I mean, when you think, look, that's the back. Now the back on this skirt, the train is a lot longer. I purposely didn't do the train so long, so I did left a couple of the frills off. I didn't actually want a train at all, but it has turned out to have a small one, so I am going to have to put some kind of lining underneath that if it's trailing on the floor, because it will just tag very easily and snag. So I do need to do something to protect the bottom of it. And again, the front, I think, is pretty similar as well. So yeah, all in all, overall, I'm pretty pleased with what I've done so far. So let's crack on with this top. Now, this is the front. That some of it's already done. I've done the majority of the front bit. I've done the darts, which are not easy. Well, it was okay. They're symmetrical. Both sides are the same, so that's good. Now this is just 1 minute. Let me just pin that. Now these bits, this is called the front facing, and the ones I've done in the past I've been doing wrong. Lucy came and she showed me the correct way of doing it, so now I know how to do it properly. Now that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that, but I have tweaked it a little bit to make it a little bit easier, and it will still be just as nice. So what I've done, I've cut the top bit off, because I've done what it says. I've put a bit of lace on this edge here, and it goes to the corner there. Now, if I was to put this front facing on, it would go up here. It just wouldn't look right. So I'm going to do it to there and then fold it in. Now, you probably haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, so I'm just going to do it, and you can watch. And if you've got any questions, as I said, put in the comments below, because it's no good me telling you all this jargon if you've not got a clue what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pin it. This little set of drawers here was my great-granddad's, and then I believe it was my mother's, but anyway, it's mine now, and I keep my little pins in there and little bits and bobs. So it's very old, but I do really like that, and I've had it since I was a child, and now it's coming useful. Right, so I'm going to pin this over like so, then I'm going to pin it on here like this, like that. I'm just going to pin this all the way along here. So now I need to fold it over like so, and then it folds in like that, and it's like that, if that makes sense. So I need to In fact, if I just fold it all over like this and then in like that, that's much better. I think I'm going to iron that, so I'm going to put the iron on and press it. Now my sewing machine started playing up at this point, so I just stopped what I'm doing and I opened it all up and I gave it a little brush, because sometimes the needle can get jammed or the stitches can come out a bit odd, so you just have to give it a bit of a clean, because all the dust and things can accumulate inside. So I just rethreaded it after giving it a clean, and it was absolutely fine and I could carry on sewing. So I'm now just cutting some of the loose threads and now joining the two pieces together. I'm just pinning them and then I'm going to sew them together and then sew all the other components together, and then it'll be ready to pin on the mannequin to see what size I need it. Got to this point, I noticed that there was a couple of pieces missing, so I went back to the pattern, back to the drawing board, should I say, and yeah, I was missing some patterns, so I had to cut a few more pieces out, and obviously then I had to sew those together and then add those, and then I put it on the mannequin. Now I've pinned everything together, I've sewn the front as you saw me do. I haven't sewn the back sections yet, as you can see, it's all pinned. But what I'm going to do, because I really want this to fit perfectly, so I've set my mannequin to my measurements and I'm going to fit it around it and tuck it in if it needs to taken in, because I have a feeling this might be a little bit bigger than it should be, because it's supposed to be boned and I haven't boned it. So I've done it for the same allowing for the boning, yet I haven't boned, if that makes sense. So it's going to be slightly bigger, I think. So I want to fit it to this to make sure that it's not going to be too big. I don't think it is, to be fair. So I'm going to get my pins, got my pins here, and I am just going to pin it to it. And then we can see and get a rough idea what it's going to look like. It is going to be too big. It doesn't need that. I don't think it's going to need this section in here. Now, whether the sleeves won't fit properly without it, I'm not sure. So, well, I'll put it together first. Let's see. So this comes round here, and then it's going to meet that. Now, it's not going to need all of this. So let's have a look. It looks beautiful. It really does look nice. Wow. Do you know, I still surprise myself. I really do. I cannot, but I'm looking at this and I cannot believe I've made this. When you think the year ago, I've never sewn anything in my life. Couldn't even use a sewing machine, not alone read a pattern. And I've made this. Unbelievable. So let us pin this like this, shall we? This is what these mannequins are for. And I've never used it like this before. I've never done this. Normally I just sew it and do it and hope for the best. And to be fair, touch wood, the tops that I've made do fit. But this really matters because it's for a very special event. So I really want this to be perfect. As perfect as I can get it anyway. I think I should have done it inside out. And then yes, you should. That would make sense. So I need to do it again. It needs to be inside out. I'm assuming, because then you'd be able to pin it easier, better. Right. Didn't think of that, didn't? So that just needs turning round. I think I can sew these on now because the front's done. So I'm going to go and sew these in place. Right, so that needs to be a little bit more because as you can see, let me show you. I've stitched it, but when it's going to be on, you're going to be able to see the stitch. There's a stitch line of stitch in there, which I don't want to be able to see. So because it's a little bit big anyway, I'm going to go over it again. And a little bit further in, I think. So where is that stitching? Is that side. So I've pinned this side. I've pinned that side on already. And now I'm just pinning this side. Now, this one. I will have to try this on when I've pinned it because I'll have to make sure the armholes are big enough because I'm pinning it a lot smaller than it actually is, if that makes sense. So I want it to be fitted, but I don't want it to be too tight. So that's it pinned. I've just got the shoulders to pin. but that I think will be okay. Needs just tweaking a little bit there, I think, taking in a little bit there, but I'm going to do the shoulders now, just so that we know, and then I can try it on. So that's it all taken in. I've just tried it on again, and I've taken in where it needs to. It needs to be taken in a little bit more in there than at the top, because obviously I'm a little bit bigger busted, so it has to be a little bit out there, and then it tapers in there, so it fits nicely and it meets nicely at the front there all the way up. So once that's sewn together, that will be really nice. Right, so I've put this together. I've sewn all this together as it should be. That's the back. So now what I'm doing is what they call the flounce, and it's a frilly thing section that goes onto the back of the jacket, and it sort of hangs down over the skirt, which is really nice. Now I had to pause because I ran out of cotton, so I went into town today because I ordered some and it was taking ages to get here and I didn't know when it was coming, so I went and bought two cotton bobbins today, got home, and then this had arrived and that had arrived. So, but anyway, I'll use it, it's not a problem. So I don't know if that's too big. I think that might be too big to go on my sewing machine. I'm not quite sure how you would use it. But anyway, it looks a bit big, but I've got that. But I've got these, and that'll be enough for doing what I'm doing. And also that came with that are these that I ordered. And I thought these would be really nice to wear with it. I'll show you. Just some little pink little droplet earrings, and I thought they would be really in keeping and really nice, and they were really cheap ones, but they were really, oops, let me show you, they're really lovely, and I think they'll be really nice with it. So I got those, so I need to look after them so they can go upstairs in my jewellery box. But for now we'll put them here, and I'm going to get on with this. So this is the flounce. I've pinned it, lined it and pinned it, and now all I need to do is sew around it and then do whatever I need to do. And I think you sew around it to the top and then you turn it inside out and press it. Not inside out, the right way round. So I'm sewing it inside out. So I'm now ready for putting the lace on. So I'm going to swap the pink thread with the black thread, and that includes as well the bobbin because we want black thread throughout. And then I'm able to put the lace all the way around the jacket. That's the black, so just need the black thread. So this lace is in sections, so, and I've got to join it together because it's got to be one long piece. So I'm just going to join them all together now. So I've sewn all this on like that. You saw it all pinned and I have just sewn it all on. Now what I've got to do, or what I'm doing, is pinning the arms on, and I've also put some lace around the sleeves like that. So that will be the end of the sleeve. I'm just hoping it's going to be long enough because it was supposed to have a frill on, but I've not done it. Not a frill, like a pleat in the pink fabric, but I haven't done that, so I'm hoping they are going to be long enough. So we won't know until it's done. Now I've pinned the sleeves on the actual armholes, but there's a little bit too much. The arms are a little bit, there's too much fabric to fit the armhole. There's not supposed to be a gather. I don't really want to take it in, because if I take it in, I have pinned it and then it's a little bit tight on me, so I don't really want to do that. So what I thought I'd do, well, what a friend suggested I did actually, Lucy, she said gather it. So I'm going to pin it from the bottom so it's in the right place at the top of the shoulder, and then I'm just going to put a few little tacks in, large stitches, gather it up so that it fits, and then it will just have just a slight little gather on the top of the shoulder. So I have got to do that in the right place, else it won't look right. So I'm going to pin it together again and see how we get on. Right, so I've pinned it and I'm now going to sew it, and I just hope and pray that I've done it correctly, because I really am not very good at doing arms and putting arm sleeves on. It's only, well, I've done them a few times, but each time, well, I've done them I think by fluke. So fingers crossed, because this is really important. I really want to get this one right. So I just hope that I've done it correctly. Really do. So I'm going to start, I think, here, and just hope I do it right. I really, really, really hope I do it right. Right, here goes. Right, so I'm going to turn it the right way round and put it on this mannequin. Oh my word, I hope it's all right. Right, let's have a look. Oh, wow. Oh, I think it's okay. That is the sleeve. Wow, I think it's all right. There. That's it. So let's try it on just to see. Let me just try it on. So that will be what it looks like. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that. It does pucker a little bit there, and it's not quite as far up as it should be. It should put that there, but maybe that'll be okay when it's both done. I think that might be all right. I'm quite sure it will be. It's a little bit puckered, I know, but I can probably do something with that. Yeah, right, let's go and do the other one and hope I do it the same. It is a little bit too puckered really there, but it might be all right. Might be all right when it's done. Right, oh my word, that was nerve-wracking, I swear. Honestly, it really is nerve-wracking. So I've just got the other one to do. Oh, for all those that have got your fingers crossed, thank you very, very much. You got me through this. Right, next sleeve. Now, I'm not going to put it on as yet. I'm going to put it on the mannequin because I want to see if I've done it right. Okay. Now, it's not perfect. I can see a little bit here that isn't tucked in, so I might have to just unpick that bit and tuck it in. The sleeves aren't too bad. Again, it's not perfect actually, but it's not too bad. It really needs tweaking, and it also needs just finishing off really. I've got to put the hook and eyes on here. I think in general it's not too bad. I think it will pass. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I am extremely critical when I'm doing anything. And there are little bits that still need tweaking. Like I say, this little bit here needs unpicking. Let me show you. So you can see there, look. I've not tucked it in. It's not a hole. It would be better if it was a hole. It's just I've missed it out. It's not tucked in. So I need to unpick that bit because that will be noticeable, and then tuck it in and re-sew that bit. And at the back, it's okay. I think here it's not right, but it is the same both sides, so it might be all right on. Not sure. Maybe when it's pressed, it might look all right because it is the same. So in general, I think that's okay. I'm pretty pleased with that. There you go, look. So it needs the hook and eyes putting on here, and then we're more or less done. That, I'm really pleased with that, and I'm really pleased with the sleeves. So I am going to unpick the bit that needs unpicking, and I'm going to re-sew that. That won't take 5 minutes. And then I'm going to do the hook and eyes. I'm going to try it on first of all though, and see what it looks like once I've unpicked and sewn that little bit on the sleeve. And then I've just got the hook and eyes to do. So that is it. It's done and it's complete, and to be quite honest with you, I'm really pleased with it. Now the little puckering bits on the shoulders I wasn't really happy with, so I put some little bits of lace over the top of them, and I think it worked really well. So I really hope you enjoy the few pictures to come, which are at the asylum itself. We went with my sister and our brother-in-law Nick, Amanda and Nick, and we had an absolutely wonderful day. So I really hope you've enjoyed this vlog and the journey that I've been on to make this outfit, which I think is absolutely amazing. I have to say I'm just so pleased with it. I really am. And I would love to know your opinions. What do you think? And the finished product you'll see in a minute. And as I say, these are some lovely pictures that we had taken at the asylum. So thanks so much for joining me, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks again. Bye.